me just move a little bit of. Yes, now we have, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit higher than this. Yes, perfect. Can you introduce yourself? What's your name?
My name is Jamal Edmondson. I'm a martial artist, actor, stunt performer.
Okay, Jamal, we're here at the Ripley Studios and we are auditioning for the same film. By the way, to give you a little story, we spoke a few weeks ago on the phone over the Facebook Messenger, I believe, regarding the interview, and finally we happened to do that interview here in the setting. So I'm on my way to the Brazil parade, and JT put together. He got. By the way, guys, JT got this guy certified for the qualified for the Sag a couple of years ago. Hopefully now it's his turn to get me Sag ready. So that's a little shout out to JT, little like plug-in for JT, what he does for people. So basically what I know about you, that you do acting and you do martial arts.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what's your story? Who are you?
My story has started back in 2015. My first project was a project called Bound by Debt, which was cast by JT Enterprise. That's where it all started. Mm-hmm. From Bound by Debt, I moved on to TV series such as Money Talks, Hawk Fraser Money Talk. I also started The Fever, which got me SAG back in 2017, thanks to JT. And it can be a challenge, but it's also implementation. You know, you only get out of what you put into it. And my goal long term is to really take it to a level where I never taken it before. I've made connections in the interim. Throughout the past 5 years, I was able to connect with fellow actors. I worked in California 2015 with Fred the Hammer Williamson. He's an icon, beautiful guy. I worked with Parham Enterprise, which is another movie company in California, San Francisco. So I've been around a bit and still
As an actor, how do you portray different emotions? Like you play like usually bodyguards, you play like tough guys roles. Like what's this scope of like positions? Because I usually get like whether a terrorism gig or like a gangster guy. I rarely get picked for like be a doctor or a lawyer, like more like a humane part. Usually I get to play a protagonist.
Well, usually the roles that I portray based on what I've done, the work that I've done in the industry, happens to be a bodyguard, security guard. It happens to be like a doctor. Mm-hmm. It happened to be like a bartender, a fighter, an arena fighter, a fireman, a policeman. You know, anything within that realm, because those are most of the characters throughout my career so far that I have portrayed.
Gotcha. Like, how do you connect with your character? How do you build that emotional, like, feel of the role?
Oh, okay. I build that emotional connection with the character that I bring out from within through the Meisner technique. You know, I've studied...
Which technique?
The Meisner.
The Meisner.
Yeah, the Meisner technique. I've studied...
What is it?
The Meisner technique, and the Meisner technique is your imagination and its substitutions. It's things, live events that has happened to you throughout your lifetime in the past that you can relate, that will bring out the character within you. For example, let's just say you're playing a role as a bystander in a funeral home. You lost a loved one. You think about, in reality, someone close to you who passed away, and the way you were moping and grieving, and you bring that feeling, that energy, you bring that to the set, you bring that to the camera. That's what's using substitutions. Imagination is when you create a backstory, when you create a draft for what you've done, for what you're going to do. You create a backstory. That's what gets you deeper into the character. That's what brings out the best of the character.
Okay. How do you build vulnerability, like sympathy for your role? Like, is there a way to kind of make a bigger role? Like I get usually like an extra role, and I try to get my role bigger and like more visible in the set. So like, what can I do something to develop a role?
Oh, to develop.
With obviously the boundaries of the writers and script and all that stuff.
The best thing that I could say on that note to answer that question is to have an excellent reel. do a reel that's outstanding. You know, do a reel like me. I have an action reel which showcases my stunt work, my martial arts.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Then I have another reel which is my acting reel, which showcases strictly acting without martial arts. Then I have another reel that I'm working on, which is going to be strictly a boxing reel. So, you know, when I get the opportunity to audition for roles for different projects that contain strictly boxing, I have my boxing reel.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next plug-in, basically, we're looking at. We haven't set the date, but we're gonna we're planning to do maybe like a martial arts, boxing, like a action sport production day at Brick Studios. So hopefully you get to see that footage if you have particular ideas. What we should film. I'm planning to film like 8K, maybe really like 120 frames per second, really fast movement, so we can slow down for you. Hopefully the fight scenes that we will be able to deliver would make you know, kind of educational and helpful for the folks. So it's more like a, you know, what we can do with our abilities as two strong guys.
Absolutely, and it's all about bringing it's all about bringing the highest level of excitement, the highest level of quality and entertainment to the camera, to the audience. That's what sells.
What's your Instagram? How folks can look you up?
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can reach me on Instagram at Kiyoshi Naji. Kiyoshi Naji on Instagram. That's KYOSHINAJI. Kiyoshi Naji on Instagram. It's also the same name on Facebook as well.
Thank you so much. Take care, guys.